Hello, you guys. So let's talk about some serious things. If you are a conscious parent who is working on, creating a secure, safe environment for your children who will eventually be conscious adults as well, you have to understand that if you are breaking the cycle of codependency with an individual who is just fighting their own healing journey, you have to understand that there may be some attempts to restrict you from proper health and help. Um, uh, it, there may be things taking place to restrict you guys from being able to have all your resources met, and there could be situations that have been set up against you so that you can be in a place of need where someone who doesn't have your best interest or your children's best interest can come in and be able to have some sort of false control over you. And this is where I would just say give it to your higher power. If you have individuals who are willing to be stressors and they're aware that they're not welcome in your life, and they could be using your children as a way to possibly, be present in your life, even though it is obviously against your will. They could be, telling the children things that may not actually best benefit the children long term. Realize that this is, as if you're the conscious parent experiencing this is where, what do you do? Do you, I bought this book from Namaste called Setting Boundaries, you guys, and let's find a solution. Decision making. And this, a moment to reflect. Setting Boundaries by Veronica Ray. And this is decision making. I like to give practical, logical, spiritual advice so that we're not all woo woo gaga and feeling like, we're using spirituality like a wishing well or a magic genie. Spirituality helps us be able to stay grounded when our external environment is experiencing chaos. And while this video is being filmed, there is present chaos externally. So you're being asked to make sure your home is, a representation of the peaceful life that you deserve. That means maintaining it. That way, so if your children are, adapting to, the chaotic climate around them, you want them to be able to know that when they go home, they good. So we have decision making. As we set boundaries between ourselves and others, we develop new ways of making decisions. Without others' opinions and wishes to influence us, we develop our decision making ability. At first, we may feel confused or unable to make choices. We fear making a mistake, but everyone makes mistakes sometimes, and that's all right. We can learn from our mistakes and grow better and better at making good decisions. Often, the decisions we agonize over aren't really important. Does it actually matter what we cook for dinner? What difference does it make which coat we select or whether or not we go to a party? Many choices just don't matter that much or may be reversed later. Learning to make decisions means listening to our inner thoughts and intuitions, making the best decisions we can, and letting go of the result. And the positive affirmation here is I am learning to make my own decisions. So if you're a conscious parent and you have individuals in your life who is negatively narrating your parenting style because they're trying to basically covertly coerce themselves into your lifestyle and be able to have claim over whatever it is that you garner with your own hard work, realize that this is a time to realize that it's okay if they do not agree with your decisions. Because if let's be honest here. If they do commit some type of injustice that endangers your children long term, those consequences will catch up with them and your children will heal. And I say that as a conscious parent. I've had to relinquish a lot of fears to my higher power about my children's safety. I'll open up to you guys. I saw a young girl emulate aspects of my personality that she liked. She could have been about 7 or younger. She was with her she was with a sister and her father, and it really made me contemplate on what vibe I'm putting out into my external environment while simply embracing womanhood at this point as a conscious parent, as a conscious individual who is actively, going to support raising conscious, independent adults who will not be subjected to scams from codependent abusive energies. So we're using the playing cards, foraging encyclopedia, all right, to get a message. Let me go get a bite of my chicken, and then we're going to get some messages from the cards, and we'll also have a fun 3-part pick a card. If you guys are still present, thank you guys for being here. And also, I'm thinking, I haven't used these playing cards with the Forager encyclopedias in so long. Maybe it's time you guys get out into nature and start learning about how our ancestors before us survived without processed food. I know I just personally ate some processed food, but it occurred to me maybe I should start, taking the time to genuinely learn about how our ancestors survived without colonizers and white supremacists negatively oppressing my decisions about how to be, considered providing a healthy foundation for our children. Maybe it's time we go back to the original way of healing. Because on some of these cards, there's something that can heal scurvy. And a lot of colonizers and white supremacists carried a lot of diseases with them. So I feel we should, maybe if you're watching this, you could do some ancestral work to connect more with your deeper and connect back with your ancestors so you can understand some natural remedies to protect yourselves, so that you and your family and your loved ones don't actually have to receive services from hospitals that are misdiagnosing simple things that our ancestors could have just simply, fixed with stuff in nature. Anyway, that's an additional message. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Eight of Hearts, Queen of Diamonds, King of Diamonds, And also the 10 of hearts. Ooh, wee. Interesting. King of diamonds and the queen of diamonds are close to each other. Then we got the 8 of hearts. Then we got the 10 of cups. 10 of hearts. Then we got the 7 of wands. Interesting, interesting. And the 8 of diamonds. With the 8 of clubs here. All right, let's talk about it. This is a time of maturity here. With this 8 of hearts. We got, and we got hot peppers here. So with the 8 of hearts here, if you had to let someone go on your journey, it's time to do a cleanse. This will also energetically protect you from anything that they could try to do, and hot peppers are good for it. Hot peppers, it says here, first cultivated in Central and South America around 3000 BC. Things like that. If you had to let go of some people so that you can make your dreams come true, with the Queen of Diamonds and the King of Diamonds. With the Ace of Spades here, you're possibly seeing a truth coming out. You're possibly seeing a truth about what you actually bring to the table. And you may be seeing how you're not getting equal energy exchange. This may be a time where if you are in a romantic partnership, or if you haven't been manifesting a romantic partnership responsibly, this is confirmation that it's coming. But this is also saying that you and whoever you're manifesting, or if you've already manifested each other, you guys can see that you guys have been downplayed, because you guys are able to see what you truly offer to the table. With the Ace of Clubs here, you might have, let go of, certain romantic relationship dynamics in which, others, they felt great and free when they were sexually involved with you guys. But at the same time, it didn't actually allow you to be able to grow. With the 7 of Spades here and the soy. You could have, with the 3 of clubs here. You could have, dealt with, and the 7 of hearts is showing. You could be able to understand quite well how individuals who are sexually motivated can see you as the perfect partner, but they weren't the perfect partner for you. With the 7 of hearts next to the 7 of spades here, they could have went above and beyond to, try to basically have you invest your emotions into broken promises that they would never be able to actually fulfill. But here's a bit of karma. Whatever broken promises that you would look forward to experiencing, you will get to experience it with the equal energy exchange partnership, in which abusive power will not have any room for it, okay? Because with that Ace of Wands coming up, it seems as if you haven't met the person yet, you and someone, you're manifesting each other, and you're actively with this 8 of Hearts and this 3 of Spades in reverse. You're letting go of the emotional attachments and ideas connected to the disappointments of these relationships. There could have been a lot of, we'll do this and we'll do that and we'll do this and we'll do that and we'll do this and we'll do that. And honestly, you possibly thought, okay, what did I deserve to, receive having my heart broken again? And what I'm picking up here is, it's going to be part of their karma to know that those broken promises that they intentionally created with the seven of spades and the seven of hearts next to each other, you'll be able to experience that with someone else. Okay, with the seven of wands here, and this is the Chanterelle. I don't. If you've had this before, let me know. You could have been dealing with a lot of burdens imposed upon you by these people that you let go, because while you may be the perfect person to build a family with, they're not. I'm picking up on energies that were expecting you guys to carry them. I'm picking up on energies that will start wars with you and then ask you guys to save them from the very enemies that they invited into your home. And I'm picking up on energies that would continue this. I'm picking up on people who they felt, wait for me to get my shit together. But the truth is, they were never going to get it together. They were never going to evolve. They were going to stay, they were choosing to stay comfortable. And I'm feeling like these people have went above and beyond to create disharmony for you, because they're like, look, I know I'm not the right person for you. However, please wait for me. And I'm picking up on people, they did some crazy ass shit to make you wait for them. I think that's why the boundary that came up here was choices. I feel like these people wanted you to think that you didn't have choices. I feel like these people wanted you to view the relationship with them as an end all be all, even if it wasn't emotionally satisfactory for you. Even if even if your company together, even if it created grave disappointment, they were comfortable in grave disappointment because of the benefits that you brought to the table. But I feel like you guys got, I feel like you guys put your foot down and you realize, look, you have nothing of value to offer me long term. You're going to be a burden and a liability, and I feel I'll accrue debt with you guys. So I feel like the people who try to basically, get you to see, look, no, I don't have it all together, and no, we're not equal. We're not equally yoked. But make time and room for me anyway. I feel like they're starting to get an understanding with the seven of clubs and the eight of hearts that there's a reason, a deeper reason that you didn't choose them. There's a reason that they won't be chosen by you guys. Because these are the type of people, if they get successful one time, like a one-hit wonder, their egos will get big and they will just basically start flopping in quality. They won't actually keep up the good work. And this will be the kind of partnership where if you have children, you're like, hold on. We both got to work. We both got to take care of the kids. What is going on right now? And these are the people that would literally not, they wouldn't actually be connected to the reality of the decisions that they have to make to basically create less stress on the family units that they take for granted. This is what could happen if you've experienced what it's like to have a hardship type family dynamic with a person like this. You probably got used to stress all fucking day. You probably got used to, we have a good time, but when it get bad, it's bad. And these people, literally, they didn't want you to know that they had no intention of actually being able to be an equal partnership with you. Now, when we talk about equal partnership, we're not talking about, you meet somebody 50-50. We're talking about you actually get to know the person, the background, what has impacted them, why they move, how they move, and you see how you guys move best together. But I'm picking up with the eight of diamonds and the eight of clubs here. These people possibly use their energy to learn how to appear like they were, family oriented and like they were getting that money, so that you would view them with the 10 of hearts as the ideal family person. I'm picking up on people, if you had children with them, when the reality of the responsibility of, okay, we gotta keep up the work ethic that we're building. Then we also gotta make sure the children's needs are taken care of. I feel as if these people showed you their true colors in the way that they communicated with you guys. So I feel as if these people, it's like you inspired them to want to have a healthy family, but they were not actually willing to basically contribute healthiness to the family. These were like very codependent people who would who would try to get you to view things from their perspective so they would have less work to do, and then when the consequences of being lazy would show up in something where they would be extremely disappointed. This is where they would not actually fine tune their communication skills. It's as if they would basically hope that you would have space for them to basically act like someone who is retaliating in narcissistic rage because they do not like that disappointments are happening. I'm picking up on people that found it very difficult to deal with disappointments. So, you know how healthy people, and I'm going to tell you how healthy people do. When healthy people have disappointments, they stay responsible and they make laughter out of it. Eventually, they're not just sitting there laughing all day and acting like this shit ain't real. They're being solution oriented. Now, toxic people will sit there and bitch and complain and moan and gossip and hope that the situation fixes itself, because the truth of the matter is they possibly use all their energy doing something stupid. These are the type of people I'm picking up on. They'd be quick to have your name in their mouth and say, this my man, this my woman. But when it really came down to basically maintaining the financial foundation of the family security, these people would hope that you would basically take most of the responsibility and hope that you would carry the family. Now, healthy men who have experienced this, the sex is great with these type of women. If they have children together, then there's times where the family moments are amazing. But then when it comes time to have these real ass logical discussions about how are we going to progress our family, where is our family at currently in this moment, it was a lot of I love you, please, not right now. Or it was a whole bunch of just mixed messages hoping to sound good. And it's just like, I don't see any progress in the relationship. This is where a lot of healthy men became more focused on being parents. And this is where toxic feminine, decided to use the double standards of boundaries. They wanted to create a toxic environment and appear as if they weren't the ones creating it by saying, hey, this boundary, I set this for you, but it doesn't work for me. I can get away with doing to you what you're doing to me. Things like that. So this is where, healthy men who have experienced this, if they have children with a toxic feminine, this is where they're like, okay, I'm seeing that if I continue this pattern of tolerating your bullshit, our children is going to suffer. So healthy men are stepping up to the plate and they're just saying goodbye to anybody and anything that's going to negatively impact their foundation. And I'm also picking up, even if these men don't have children yet, they're thinking about children and they have enough discernment and clarity to understand what wife material is and what fuckability material is, okay? And men are very wise at picking spouses, healthy ones anyway. So if you are blessed with a friendship with a healthy masculine, you can ask them, you can ask them some questions to understand how the male works, because we've had a lot of opinions about how masculine energy operates based off toxic masculinity. Now let's talk about it. We got the 7 of spades here and the 7 of hearts, okay? This is talking about being a dreamer, This is talking about hoping and praying and wishing with this King of Diamonds. I hope, I pray, I wish. I hope, I pray, I wish. I'm picking up on energies of toxic masculine energy that they thought if they acted like they were all, if they thought if they acted like what they thought of financially, a financial male leader looked like based off of social standards, they would attract financial stability. And it's interesting because social standards change so quickly. Some of them could literally be in debt right now because the standards that they copied of what they thought of a financial male leader looked like is actually in debt and trying to make sure they got their shit together so the debt collectors don't come knocking. With the 8 of Hearts here, these men are getting a dose of reality because it's like, yo, that's not how you manifest stability. You're basically trying to emulate someone to choose whose lifestyle you don't even know and understand what's going on. So a lot of these men who have been trying to basically narrate for all men, the toxic masculines I'm talking about, like I get that money, stuff like that. What if I told you they think that if they actually act this way, they think they'll manifest it. They think that it'll just come to them. They think that if I look the part and act the part, they'll come straight forward to me. I'm not going to have to do any work. Now, it's logical if you think this way. If you think it from a perspective of someone who, say, has toiled in labor for most of their lives and they're starting to feel the impacts of their body and they're like, look, I want to relax. But this is where the 9 of Diamonds and the 9 of Spades reminds us we have to be mindful. What did we do with all our time before we got tired? This is where a spirit of entitlement is really revealing who it is you need to cut loose and keep around you. If someone says, I've known you for all my life, you changed up all of a sudden now that you in a different space. Okay then. There's no reason to try to have conversation with them at this point because I'm picking up on toxic masculines who they want to have a lavish lifestyle, but they're not willing to basically do what they need to do to be healthy. Emotionally, mentally. They're not willing to basically journal and do shadow work about what their fears are. So they subconsciously basically recreate their fears with large amounts of money if they were blessed with it. And this is why they heavily project onto others who surpass them and say you changed. And this is a guilt trap when toxic masculine does this. They want you to basically become defensive and say, I didn't change. These people will find every way to say, you left me out in the cold and you changed. And when you just get to that point with the 2 of Diamonds, you have to understand, okay then, that's exactly what happened. Because with the Jack of Hearts here, this is saying that these people are in an arrested development stage of life where they can only see as far as the pain that they're letting consume them allow them to see. When you understand that a toxic masculine who is letting their pain consume them, restrict them from having an open mind, you understand, don't waste your words on these people. They don't actually understand that transitions happen. And this is where toxic masculine is getting left behind because healthy masculine is saying, look, I know, they're saying this to their friends. I know that we've grown up together. I know that we've lived a great life together and had fun, but I can't be doing what we normally be doing all the time because I'm planning for a family. I love, and I understand I'm not going to isolate myself from y'all, but I also have to be mindful that if I neglect, my future wife, that right there is going to be relationship issues, and that's going to impact my overall health. If I'm not present with my children, if I have children, that's going to impact my overall health. So this is where toxic masculine is getting dropped like hotcakes because no one wants to keep explaining to a toxic masculine, I'm a father, I'm a mother. What do you want me to do? I'm putting the child first. I'm not gonna keep picking up every time you call. I'm not gonna sit here and kiss your ass when I got a child to take care of. I'm not gonna keep telling you to act like an adult so that the child that's in our vicinity is aware that, hey, we got responsibilities. Because if this is how you're reacting when you have responsibilities, this is gonna set a shitty example for the children that's watching. And I know I said shitty in that same sentence, but this is what's coming up here, because it's very difficult to basically, toxic masculine energy is so difficult to basically get rid of. And it's due to a lot of childhood trauma, and it's not our job to try to save them and hope that they heal. It's their job to take the initiative. That's why masculine energy is the energy of action. So when toxic masculine realizes how they wasted their time basically chasing things that will not build all the soft skills that they need to be able to maintain the responsibilities of mundane day-to-day tasks in order to become a king of pentacles. I'm picking up on toxic masculine that thought they could get a bunch of money and everything would change. And they're getting a dose of reality, like, yo, what the fuck is going on? They did not prepare for what they asked for. So when you're dealing with toxic masculine energy who does not have the discipline to prepare to maintain what they asked for, it's like, this is where you have to understand tolerating these energies is going to negatively impact your health, because they're going to consistently be in a cycle. If they choose to not actually heal, they'll be in a cycle of constantly talking about, look, I want to be with you, I don't want to be with you, I want to be with you, I don't want to be with you. And when children are involved, this creates a generational cycle of, like, say, children who don't understand that, communication is not clearly being expressed here. There's no solutions taking place. So this is why, as conscious adults, we have to be solution oriented for the children. If we decide to not be solution oriented for the children, then we only have ourselves to hold accountable. If we sit here and allow our children to have examples of toxic masculine and toxic feminine energies, okay? This is very important. All right, so we have the Six of Hearts, Five of Clubs, Four of Wands, and Three of Spades. So, and the Six of Wands, and also the Nine of Hearts and the Queen of Hearts. Let's talk about, we also got the Three of Hearts and the Jack of Diamonds. Not a Jack of Diamonds, forgive me, y'all. We got the Jack of Spades and the Ten of Spades. Let's start with the Three of Spades here. Let's talk about it. With the Six of Hearts, children are healing. This is a good time to receive this message. Children are being able to heal, because I feel like with the changes our climate is experiencing, we adults have to be conscious to basically make sure we're also doing inner child healing, okay? If, as conscious adults, when we do inner child healing, this makes it so as children are healing, we can have more of an open mind to what exactly it is they're experiencing, because children feel things very deeply. That's why when they first come into the world, bundles of joy, we feel so much joy. And if bundles of joy are born into families where grief has been something that's been normalized, it, this can negatively impact the children. This can traumatize children. So children are being blessed with healing. Okay? The five of spades here and the four of wands. Children are being blessed to be able to heal from not having to witness fights in the home being normalized. Now, I grew up in a time where it was normalized to see a grown ass woman and a grown ass man or same sex just fighting it up, honey. With this five of swords, it was like I'm going like adults keeping count of who could hurt worse who. Children are healing from constantly seeing parents, not all, but seeing adults act vicious when they don't understand something and basically take their anger out in the home. So this is where children were able to see, okay, we're fighting in the home, but you're coming out in public acting as if everything's okay. Why don't you want people to know what's going on? For some of these children, with the five of spades here, some of these children, um, they done seen so much violence. The five of spades is not a card that I would like to see next to the six of cups, y'all. However, I'm gonna deliver the messages how they need to be delivered. All right. With the six of clubs here and the ten of spades, let's talk about it. We're leaving an era where it was so normal to see melanated children sad and already mentally down. See, this used to be normal. A child seeing parents, if not parents, just adults fighting left and right, hitting each other where it fucking hurts to no end. How can we expect children to do something different? Now, if you have when I was a child, I try to understand why there was always fighting, okay? If you're the child, the black sheep, that's like, why are y'all always fighting? Let's have peace. Or I'm not going to sit here and let y'all beat up on me all day. This is where some children, there's going to be cases coming out where some children were specifically targeted to basically shush because they kept asking questions. Like, why is this happening? Why? This is going to come out how origins of black sheeps and families came out with inner child healing taking place. But also, people will not be able to no longer ignore the black sheep in the family anymore and say, well, they're just born that way. No, what's going to happen is anything that's connected to causing the black sheep in the family, especially a child, to develop mental stress at an early age, is about to be exposed. It's about to be exposed. Because whenever a child first comes into the world, they bring so much joy. And how is it that we got used to children having that joy just drained from them? Especially in the melanated community, y'all, seeing brown children go from happy and curious to robotic and fearful. Well, the adults who have something to do with that are about to get exposed. We have the Queen of Hearts and the Jack of Spades here. Let's just say the adults who know about why certain children act certain ways, especially if pedophilia occurred in the family. Well, let's just say there's going to be very interesting ways to uncover it. Now, the Queen of Hearts is empathic energy. With the Jack of Diamonds here, very, very intellectual. So people will be holding family members who have took a blind eye to children developing mental stress. They're going to be exposing these people. Now, the Queen of Hearts is very intelligent, very intelligent. Empathic women are very intelligent. If I had the King of Hearts, I'd say an empathic man. But a lot of empathic women are extremely intelligent and can cleverly expose with this Jack of Diamonds how abuse is occurring in the home. So a lot of people who took a blind eye to certain abuses taking place to children during their developmental stage, they're going to be exposed in unexpected ways, especially with that Jack of Diamonds. Empaths pick up on everything. Now, if you an empath and you understand what it's like. When you an empath and you feel everything, you can feel when a child feels unheard. You can feel when a child feels they're being betrayed in their own family. To sit there and say nothing because a narcissistic family member will try to gaslight you to cover up the fact that they may be abusing the child or know about the child being abused. This is where you got to get clever with these people, because here in this stage, as adults, as conscious adults, we have to step up and be a voice for the children. I don't care if somebody's trying to assassinate you. You better stand up for the kids. You want to be known as the adult that knew about some shit going on and you just sat there and didn't say nothing to do nothing? Do you? You want to be known as the adult who participated in harming children? No. Do you know how bad it feels to feel a child's pain? And then you sitting there watching people justify hurting children? No, ain't no way. Ain't no way. So people who've been knowing about child abuse happening in the homes, negatively impacting the mental development of children, they gonna get exposed. They can't say, well, life happened, life is hard, they had to grow up fast. It's some people that's going to get exposed for knowing exactly why a child moves and operates the way that they move. So, this is a time where we got the Three of Hearts and the Nine of Hearts. This is a time to, if you are a conscious parent watching this, create some fun things for your child to do with the Three of Hearts around healthy people. If you are co-parenting with a toxic person, you understand they're going to do everything they can do to seem as if they the good parents. You understand at a certain point, don't even try to defend yourself against them. Because literally toxic parents will try to bait healthy parents to find out what healthy parents are doing. The less toxic parents know about what a healthy parent is doing in their own personal lives that's not negatively impacting the children, the better off you'll be and the safer your children will be. Because if a toxic parent has arsenal and information to negatively impact your foundation, they don't give a damn if you financially cannot provide for your child, as long as it looks like they're the better parent. They don't give a damn how basically competing with the very same person that their child shares DNA with them. They don't care how it looks to the child. They'll justify mistreating a parent and talk shit about a parent. Make up lies about the parents. And when you understand this, you just stop defending yourself and you keep your personal life private. Especially if it's not negatively impacting you, anybody next to you, or the child. If your personal life is making it so your children can have a foundation, where they don't have to worry about dealing with, government systems that's trying to basically repress your children even more. Y'all, let's just say anybody who knew about some shit going on with children and they chose not to speak up when they noticed the red flags before it happened, during, after, where they saw the child go from, well, their ass is about to get exposed. So with the 9 of Hearts here, create some healing things for you and the children to do while you're healing. Because healing doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be grief-filled. Toxic, narcissistic individuals are consistently in a state of grief. That's why when they're around, especially if they're parents, you feel like you got to walk on eggshells around them. When they try to have surface level conversations with you, it's easy to get irritated with them because these conversations ain't gonna go nowhere. As an adult, because we have more freedom, we have to basically use our freedom of speech while creating a safe environment. And that means setting boundaries. However, setting boundaries has to show up with a toxic person. Now, a lot of children feel the stress of toxic parents who try to dominate them from the get-go. Now, you know how cowardice somebody has to be to basically try to take freedom from a child in the very beginning stages? Very cowardice indeed. So when you're dealing with cowardice, narcissistic individuals whose codependency is so toxic that they will literally try to prevent their children from being able to have a healthy relationship with a healthy parent, what do you do? Let's find out. So I guess this is 3-power pick a card we're gonna do. How can you enhance your conscious parenting journey? We're gonna have 3 pals, and this is how can you enhance your conscious parenting journey? Because the more we become aware as conscious parents, we become aware that some people just isn't in that flow to be able to step into a healthy caregiver's role. I'm gonna open up with you guys before I get into this 3-power pick a card, because I feel y'all, I'm not coming out here like I'm perfect and everything is good. No. But I do make the best decisions that I need to for my children and for myself, with my higher power guiding me. One of my biggest fears was when my children got separated me, I was afraid they would become victims of sexual trauma just as I was. But this is why I had to learn to take accountability. I started doing some inner child healing, you guys. I'm gonna keep it a buck. How can you enhance your conscious parenting experience? So, okay, inner child healing. I'm going to tell you guys about it. So, I started doing some inner child healing to no longer fear sexual trauma. Sexual trauma had been quite big in my family. And the women, when I say I'm the nice person in my family, most people don't quite see that until they meet my family. My Aunt Janice, and I don't think you guys will ever meet her, but she gave birth to twins, and they came out mean as I don't know what. A lot of the women in my family were either beat up on to the point where they became just as manly as the person that beat up on them, or they became very submissive and got married to abusive people. Abusive people who would know, who would traumatize their children. My mother is a product of rape. So when I have my two daughters, y'all, I said to myself, all this pain I'm carrying, I'm not going to sit here and traumatize my children like my mother is still trying to traumatize me. So when I say I've been digging deep into inner child healing, when I say I've been pulling up every memory of sexual trauma, that way my children will know mama ain't gonna do me like grandma did. Mama gonna talk about the shit. Mama gonna let us know. Mama is healing, and mama just needs some time to do what she need to do, and mama gonna be responsible. Where I'm at on my inner child healing is that when you're healing deeply ingrained sexual trauma and you have children, and if you have had people in your family exploit your innocence and naivety, you have to get honest with it, but also accept the growing pains that comes with inner child healing of releasing sexual trauma from the physical organs, from the cells. The shit hurts. I'd be lying if I said it don't. You still got to be responsible. You still got to make sure you wash your ass. You still got to make sure the lights is on. You still got to make sure you being a decent human being. You still got to make sure your children's straight. When you're doing inner child healing connected to sexual trauma, it gets you real honest, you guys. For example, I got so honest with myself, I realized why I chose my children's fathers. I was used to that type of behavior. And it's making me aware that if my family was used to that type of behavior, I'm doing such deep inner child healing, you guys. I want to truly understand, why did my family think it was okay to keep closed lips about pedophilia in the family? So when you're doing inner child healing, you don't just sit there and act like trauma didn't happen. You uproot that shit. And you stay balanced and grounded and responsible. And you make sure you take care of everything you need to take care of, especially if you're a conscious parent. So when your children ask, why are you the way you are? Your children can have an answer that is based on the reality that is going on in their external environment, but versus what sounds good, where they can feel good in this moment and wonder why they're being taken advantage of later. So what's about to come up is a lot of parents have basically set their children up for failure. They ain't been telling them the right information. They've been telling their children everything else except the truth. And then they wondering why they feel they got to be extra protective of their children when they go out into the external environment, because they set their children up for failure with wrong information. But what if I told you their children are not being set up for failure? What if I told you this is for these parents to recognize they're going to have to learn to change the way that they parent? And this is why we're doing this 3-pound pick a card. How can you enhance your conscious parenting experience? So, being a conscious parent is one of the most beautifulest things, one of the most beautifulest gifts that we can all have an experience with. Why? Because when you become a conscious parent, you realize no one is perfect, but also you also have to be accountable. If some funky shit happened in your family, you got to be the generational curse breaker. You can't sit there and repeat it and expect your children to treat you like children that feel safe and loved if you're repeating generational curses. Where this can make it so they don't feel safe, ain't no fucking way. So when you understand that being a conscious parent is a beautiful experience, no matter if you're co-parenting with the toxic narcissist, this will only enhance your conscious parenting. But we're going to find out exactly how. And I'll see you at your pile of pals of choice. We're also using the Indigo Sage affirmation cards. When I say this set of cards is phenomenal. My youngest daughter's name is Indigo. Okay? And so I picked it up because I was like, yo, my youngest daughter's name is Indigo. My oldest daughter's name is Lyric, like music. But my youngest daughter's name is Indigo. And this is a very powerful deck of cards. I've used this quite a few times, and I've been able to see a huge difference very steadily. So when you got how can you enhance your conscious parenting experience? Let's find out with the Indigo Sage cards, okay? I look forward to seeing you at your pal or pals of choice. Thank you guys for being present, and thank you guys for choosing to be conscious parents in a world full of immature adults who have to learn how to deal with rejection healthily. Welcome, Pal 1. Let's see, how can you enhance your conscious parenting experience? Look at that back right there. This also turns into a puzzle. I haven't did it yet. We have appreciation and illuminates. Embrace an absolute love of life without exception. Interesting. Then we have unknown voyage. You are no longer a seeker, you are a discoverer of the new. So, how can you enhance your conscious parenting experience? I feel like this is helping us connect to any old belief systems of conditional love, where I will only treat you kind if you do this the way I like. I will only support you if you support me in the manner that best benefits me, even if it doesn't best benefit you and you suffer. I feel this is where we're releasing conditional love, where we're starting to understand, where we deserve to be given the credit for, the what we have to bring to the table with appreciation. I feel like this is, you should start acknowledging more how it is that you positively impact your child's life. You know, we can't protect our children from everyone and everything, but children are so wonderful because they can see one positive experience and hold on to that as inspiration for quite a long time and let it be the fuel and the drive that keeps them going. And maybe this is where you're being asked to rebuild that hope and faith within yourself while giving yourself credit without feeling like your successes or whatever it is that you've earned and gained from all your hard work, you have to share the spotlight with something or someone who is diminishing what you bring to the table. So this right here will set an example of children, will set an example for children to be able to give themselves credit, because this will let you know as a conscious parent that someone can't come up to your children and try to create a psychosis of self-esteem issues within your children. They're not going to be able to, create self-worth issues of insecurities within your children so that they can take advantage of your children. Your children will know, I know what I bring to the table, and I'm not going to accept less than what I bring. I'm not going to accept less than what I deserve. So this is where, is how can you enhance your conscious parenting experience? If you're connected to people who keep trying to basically play small or and downplay you when you know what you have to bring to the table, realize your children will watch this ongoing power struggle. Even if you may not acknowledge it, this is where subconsciously your children will pick up on it. You know, even the people that may be having a power struggle with you, your children will subconsciously pick up on a power struggle and try to make sense of it. And as a conscious parent, when we're trying to figure out where am I going to get help from when I need help with my child, I need to make sure I have trustworthy energies around me. This will create an even healthier, happier experience for the child. Okay. We have unknown voyages. You are no longer a seeker, you are a discoverer of the new. This is saying, when you're conscious parenting, you may, say, you may try some things out the box. You may say, let's go out in nature today. You know, let's go to a park. Let's do something outside of what we normally do. And this will allow you to be able to create more positive, high vibrational experiences for the conscious child that will eventually be a conscious adult. Now, this is where if you have to cut people off who keep trying to have you play small, and you know that, if you're an adventurous, conscious parent, children like adventurous, conscious, responsible parents because they feel safe. They know they'll be able to find healthy new ways to express what's going on without having unnecessary trauma occur. And this is where toxic parents like to compete against healthy parents. So this is where your child, if you are co-parenting with a toxic narcissistic individual, your child will be able to see, okay, the toxic parent is still in the same place where the healthy parent left them. The healthy parent is continuously doing something bigger and something and including the child in it. So how can you enhance your conscious parenting experience? You can get outside your comfort zone, and you also want to be able to communicate, findings of healthy healing practices, so that, if you're dealing with a toxic narcissistic parent that you're co-parenting with, they won't be able to negatively narrate what they don't understand. And this is where toxic parents, they'll try to say, okay, I'm willing to do that too. But this is exactly where conscious parents will be able to, understand there's no competition. We're basically taking care of a child. If you have a court case, any toxic narcissistic energies that you're co-parenting with, they're going to expose themselves by trying to compete with you. And that's the end of your reading, Pile One. Thank you, Pile Two, for being present. So let's see, how can you enhance your conscious parenting experience? Okay, we got two cards for you guys. We have contemplate in your cities. Your old stories belong to time. Rise to become the new through timelessness. So I feel with this one coming out, you could have been a different parent with someone else, and now you may be taking more chances to express, your the dreams you have of what parenthood can be like. And you could be dealing with someone who's like, why aren't you like that with me romantically? They're not actually seeing the fact that we have responsibilities here, and you neglected your responsibilities. And I understand, if I logically tell you once again how you neglected your individual responsibilities, you're going to try to start unnecessary bickering and quarreling with me. And I feel like this is where, as a conscious parent, you may be dealing with a toxic energy who could be trying to basically bring out the worst in you so that you can be viewed in a negative light in the eyes of your child, okay? They may be trying to have your child think that you're something that you're not. And this is where you just let your life experience be the proof. You don't have to go and go to your child and tell them, hey, this is the truth. This is what's going on. I promise. And I'll make it up to you. I promise I'll show you. Just let your life be the example, literally. This will show up if there's a parent who has negatively been trying to turn your child or children against you. This is going to show how eventually, when these children are able to think for themselves and articulate childhood experiences that did not make sense, they'll be able to say, during that period in time, the toxic parent here was consistently focusing on the healthy parent. And as a healthy parent, while we may feel some grave difficulties trying to navigate, co-parenting with a narcissistic individual who will gossip to, who maliciously and falsely gossip to their children about a healthy parent, it may suck, but understand this is karma of showing up. Your children will have a clear understanding of who you truly are. Okay? If you have had a parental relationship with a child that has been negatively impacted, the toxic parent who use gossip to maliciously have your children view you in a negative manner, well, let's just say your children will be finding out the truth about who you truly are. Let your life be the example, pile 2. Then we have fearless and alchemist. Your desire to embody total forgiveness will lead to transcending all fear. So this is, making me aware that you're practicing mindfulness to understand that you cannot communicate in a manner that you would like to communicate with certain people when it comes to your parental rights. Okay? And this is where you may just simply have to work on forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean you become a martyr. Forgiveness doesn't mean you become you let people walk all over you. It simply means that you have faith that this is a temporary phase in your life. A lot of people say children will only be small for so long, and that's true. Because even though our children can be exposed to toxic influences in our external environment, children choose what they would like to do. I know I was subjected to an absurd amount of toxicity for quite a long time. It got to the point where I just basically started investing into setting boundaries just to have a peace of mind and to get rid of toxic people. And this is where you could possibly be working on actively getting rid of toxic people so your relationship with your child can improve. Okay? So yeah, you could definitely work on getting rid of toxic people. That right there will also be able to help you be able to enhance your conscious parenting experience. Because toxic people have a tendency to not understand that when conscious parents set boundaries, that is not an invitation to challenge those boundaries. How you gonna be an adult and challenge somebody's boundaries and still try to be in their children's lives? That's very weird, isn't it? So if you're dealing with people like that and you're actively working on releasing those connections, continue to do so, because honestly, toxic people who may want to say such and such about your parenting, if the child's happy, they're literally having they're in regret because their childhood either sucked, or they don't feel they're decent parents, or they're afraid they won't have children. So instead of them actually maturing up on their own, they like to get their hands dirty in other people's lives and act as if it's the child's fault when the child's no longer acting like what the child acted like with you. So if you're dealing with some people like this, you know, keep forgiving these people. They'll eventually learn. Now we have infectious and lover's laughter. You were born to be a warrior of light. Relinquish the old warrior to the divine. I'm picking up like power too. This situation can be very heavy on you. And I feel like you may have people who they want you to be viewed as who you once were. They want you to basically be viewed as, say the villain of their story. But when you start to understand that there's no need to worry, that there's a higher power. I'm think about it. And everybody's higher power is different. But when a child is developing in a woman's stomach, that woman will protect that child. Not only is a child and woman protected during carrying a child, that says right there, that child had a purpose to come here to this world. So maybe you should laugh more, and possibly you might be dealing with people who's trying to find out who you're in a relationship with. They might be trying to figure out why you're unbothered. They might be trying to figure out, why you're not allowing their worries to negatively impact how you are choosing to have a healthy bond with your child. So you may have people trying to basically, try to get you to react how you once used to. But you were born to be a warrior of light. Relinquish the old warrior to the divine. I feel like spirit is really saying to you, you sweet, beautiful, lovely souls, like whew, to trust that you're protected and divinely guided and protected, and know that your children are safe as well. Okay, just know that everything's good. That the worries of those people who have regrets about how they failed themselves and failed innocence, who no longer want anything to do with them, that's not your worries. You don't have to be open to receive that type of treatment. And if they have crossed your boundaries, your parental rights, because you have been telling them, these are my boundaries, but you're not respecting them, realize that that is actually going to have consequences as well. I'll do a karma reading as well. But what I'm picking up, the people that might be trying to negatively interfere with your parental rights, anyway, you got this card, receive abundance. It fell out. The gift of life will unfurl with new vitality within every cell of your being. Part of their karma for trying to basically negatively narrate the fact that you are transitioning from their toxic asses will receive abundance, honey. They gonna be, ain't nobody, I'm trying to find, you gonna be receiving abundance. Anyone that is not gonna be good for you long term and your children long term, let's just say they gonna remember everything that they did, and they gonna understand exactly why they getting the treatment that they receiving. And without further ado, we'll end it right there. So, welcome, Pal 3. How can you enhance your conscious parenting experience? Let's find out. We got you two cards. Ooh. So, we have flourishing and imagination. Look at the beautiful background. With your sacred heart as a compass, so bright, create the new, and so it is. Interesting. I'm curious. We have spirit of truth and vivified energy. Your heart is a sacred temple of the eternal flame of love, beauty, peace, and joy. I feel like you're doing a great job. If your children could express how they feel great. They feel safe with you with the spirit of truth, and they feel that it's safe for them to express what's going on mentally. Okay, they also might be in a very critical time of creativity. Okay, we also have sublime and symphony. You are part of a chorus of peace. Celebrate life as an offering to divine love. So they may be having some beautiful positive experiences. Okay, um pal 3, if you're watching this, a good job on making sure your children's foundation of safety. With Symphony here, thank you, you guys, for creating and maintaining and establishing a healthy foundation where your children's creativity can flourish in a healthy manner instead of it being exploited by deceptive people. Okay, the sacrifices that you guys have had to make sure your children's reality is free of abuse, is free of them being exploited. Your children also, I'm picking up, they might, have a, they might be very business savvy, in the future. Thank you guys for teaching your children how to be independent and be able to have their discernment and trust their intuition. Okay, so Pal 3, I want to say good job, because honestly, this is a very beautiful reading I received. This means you've done what you need to do, and you're still doing what you need to do so that your children can be able to have experiences where they're going to be able to have new perspectives. I'm picking up on family travel and things like that. Okay, I'm picking up on, oh yes, how can you enhance your conscious parenting experience? Family travel. Okay. Of course, I feel like if you guys are going to do some travel in Pile 3, you guys want to let your children know, all right, we got to be on our P's and Q's, but there's no need to fear. I feel like you guys can start having those conversations with your children about, being inspired in life in general. Okay, um your children, they know how to survive, but you also have created a foundation so your children can thrive. So thank you, Pal 3, for setting the bar high. So how can you enhance your conscious parenting experience? We have flame of love here. I feel like if you're single, you're being asked to heal any heartbreak. Not saying, because you're trying to manifest a relationship. Nah, just heal any heartbreak that heal any heartbreak that um that helped you solidify a foundation so your children will not have to experience what you experience. That doesn't mean you're saying, oh, I want a relationship. It's just saying you're releasing that toxic emotional poison of heartbreak, so that your children will not have a negative outlook on love in all its forms, okay? Interesting. It's coming up. If you are in a healthy partnership, okay, this means that you and your partner are very healthy communication, and you guys are, one together, making sure your children know that everything's good. You guys are being asked to, when after you've prioritized your responsibilities, your personal responsibilities, your parental responsibilities, your financial responsibilities, um and your spiritual responsibilities independently and harmoniously together, you're being asked to make more time for your relationship. I don't feel that you guys are not actually, making time for the relationship, but I feel like you guys could, with imagination and symphony, I feel like you guys could add more intimacy um into the relationship, however that shows up. Because if you are in a marriage, you're doing an excellent job, okay? Your children know they safe. Your children know that opportunities abound for them endlessly. And your children can put some people in their place and they won't ever see it coming. I feel like you're being asked to invest more into more intimacy if you are married, okay? Um and also with divine love standing out, I feel like you guys could with some spiritual practices and things like that, you guys could get more deeper into understanding how your higher power of choice truly loves you. And I'll tell you something, Power 3. Your higher power truly love y'all. Because for you to be at this place and point in time where you're at right now, Power 3, it was no easy feat. For your children to feel safe and to feel as if they can accomplish any goal and dream, and for them to not fear people that do not know what they're doing in life, trying to basically emotionally manipulate them to take advantage of your children. That's not nothing. That's not nothing easy that comes overnight. It's something that's maintained for long periods of time. This is why your higher power is saying thank you, because you faced a lot of crossroads. You could have chose the easy way and said, it's okay if my child suffers a little bit. Y'all said hell to the no. So Power 3, please pat yourself on the back. And also with divine love, I feel like you guys could find however you guys connect to your higher power, to tap more into that divine love, because honestly your higher power is honored to be able to say that parents like you exist. Anyway, that's how we'll end your reading, you guys. How can you enhance your conscious parenting? Thank you for that beautiful energy, Power 3. Thank you for sharing that beautiful positive energy. We'll end your reading here. Have a good day.